the knee.
Valor Mogolas, everybody. This is Don Willie back again with another subscriber request. This one from Ricky Hunt, and today I'm here in the Riverlands to talk to you about what is kind of a very underrated character in the books and underused in the show, in my opinion. It is Lord Edmure Tully. Edmure Tully is the younger brother to Catelyn Stark and also Lysa Arryn, and even though we first meet him in a Game of Thrones, his story actually stretches back a lot further, and he is partially responsible for some of the more major events in our story without even knowing it. So at Riverrun, when he's a child, he's playing with Catelyn, Lysa, and also Peter Baelish. He gives Peter Baelish the name Littlefinger because of his short stature and also the fact that he comes from a very small plot of land in the Vale known as the Fingers. And this winds up not sitting well with Peter Baelish later on, and well, we see what kind of havoc he has actually brought upon the Seven Kingdoms. He was a very rambunctious youth, always liking to roughhouse, and he actually wound up breaking his leg in a Godswood in Riverrun when he was a child. But, that hasn't stopped him from becoming a warrior and also a good guy on a horse. Now, going back to the Littlefinger situation, when Peter Baelish decided to fight a duel against Brandon Stark for the hand of Catelyn, he was actually Brandon's squire for that fight. So you could imagine, this would have caused some animosity between the two, even though Edmure is probably like, whatever, the kid lost the fight, next time he'll learn to stay in his place instead of trying to marry a High Lord's daughter when he is so low-born. Now, being the son of a High Lord, at some point, he's going to go and sow his wild oats, and he was a guy who liked to drink and he liked being with the ladies. But unfortunately, one time when he drank a little bit too much, he wound up not being able to perform, and this led to a singer named Thomas Seven actually making a song referencing a floppy fish, and ever since then, Edmure has not been fond of singers. So in A Game of Thrones, we first meet Edmure when he is meeting up with Robb's forces as they are going to get back Ned Stark. And, it's one of those things that unfortunately, even though it had the best of intentions, did not actually go really well for them. He wound up losing to Jaime Lannister at Riverrun and being captured, and if it wasn't for his nephew saving him, who knows where he would have been. After Jaime Lannister is captured and the Northern Lords and the Riverland Lords decide to proclaim Robb as king in the North, Edmure actually asked Robb if it was okay for the rest of the River Lords to go back to their lands to defend their castles, because Tywin Lannister and his forces had been coming from the Westerlands into the Riverlands and deciding to raid, and these guys just wanted to protect their lands and keeps. And while, it was a valiant move, unfortunately it happened to be a bad military decision as it thinned out the forces of the North and the Riverlands and left these guys more vulnerable to other attacks from the outside. When Robb goes out to ride for the Westerlands, he leaves Edmure in charge of Riverrun and tells him, hold the castle, don't go making any advancements against Tywin soldiers because we need to draw them in. And unfortunately, Edmure does not listen to this, and he goes after the mountain, and instead of being able to capture the mountain, he drives the mountain away, which makes Robb very, very angry. Vowing to make amends for his mistake, Edmure actually offers to renegotiate some of the terms with the Freys when they come seeking restitution for the crime that they felt that his nephew King Rob had done to them by not marrying one of the Frey daughters. So Edmure is actually forced into marrying one of the Frey girls, not knowing exactly which one he is going to get until the date of the wedding. Now, when he actually does see his bride, he is shocked and amazed that she actually is good looking, and hey, he's all good to go. He has no idea what's about to happen next. After he is carried off to the bedchamber to do the bedding ceremony with his new wife, Rosalind Frey, he unfortunately is taken captive, and his sister and his nephew are slaughtered, and his uncle winds up escaping. So it's funny because he had just become the Lord of Riverrun after his father passed away, and just like that, it was gone. We later see him when Jaime Lannister decides he is going to take Edmure as a hostage back to Casterly Rock, but with the provision that if his wife happens to be pregnant, pretty much Edmure is a dead man, and he is hoping himself that his wife is not pregnant because, come on, no one wants to be beheaded just so you can put someone else's son in charge of their castle. And while Jaime is out there trying to root out the Blackfish, Edmure is still captive, and we're waiting to see what happens with him, what will be his final fate. In the show, his story is pretty much the same as the books for the most part, and we actually haven't seen him since the Red Wedding, but hopefully we will get to see him in Season 6, but there hasn't been any kind of news on that yet as far as casting is concerned, so only time will tell. Thank you again to Ricky Hunt for suggesting this character, and I will be back again very soon with another one. I promise you, I'm gonna be on the roll. Anyway, you already know the deal. Rate, comment, subscribe, share, tell your friends, come back for more. That's been my time, and this is Don Willie saying, Vala de Iris.